हरि ओम। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री हिरण्यगर्भाय नमः। ओम श्री महाविष्णवे नमः। ओम श्री महादेवाय नमः। ओम श्री महादुर्गाये नमः। ओम श्री राम रामाय नमः। ओम श्री सद्गुरवे नमः। ओम समस्त जन कल्याणे निरतं करुणामयम् नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। शङ्करं परमानन्दं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं यतीश्वरम् भाष्यभ्रान्तिहरं वन्दे शुद्धज्ञानैकबोधकम्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम हरि ओम। We'll begin with the Shanti mantra. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. We shall chant the first Anuvaka. Om Brahmavida apnoti param tadesha bhyukta Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma yo veda nihitam guhayam parame vyoman so oshnute sarvan kamaan saha ब्रह्मणा विपश्चितेति तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाशः सम्भूतः आकाशाद् वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरापः अभ्य पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोऽन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणः पक्षः अयमुत्तरः पक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति. So Brahmananda Valli begins with this beautiful mantra in the first Anuvaka. कि ब्रह्म विदाप्नोति परम. The knower of Brahma attains supreme. Supreme means nothing is greater than that. So this supreme is Brahma itself. So knower of Brahma attains Brahma. And hence, and one who knows this Brahma also becomes free of all the suffering. Because all the suffering is because of ignorance of our own self as Brahma. So when we gain this knowledge, we will become free of all our sufferings. We will gain moksha. Hence we have to gain the knowledge of Brahma. But in order to gain the knowledge of Brahma, we should know the lakshanas of Brahma, the characteristics, so that we can recognize Brahma. So three characteristics are indicated here. Ki Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. That Brahma itself means that which is big, that which is large. So Brahma, that term itself has got its own meaning. And it is further indicated with these three indicators, Satyam, Jnanam and Anantam. Satyam means pure existence. Jnanam is pure knowledge. And Anantam is infinity, infinite. So Brahma, which is existence, knowledge and infinite, one has to recognize this Brahma, realize this Brahma. Brahma is all pervading. Brahma is Sarvatma, is the Atma of all. So we have to realize our own self as Brahma. So these three indicators are helpful to comprehend Brahma. But we have to understand their meanings properly and should be able to comprehend what is indicated by these terms. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji defines all these terms. So what is Satyam? He says, Shankaracharya ji says in his Bhashya, कि सत्यम इति यत् रूपेण यन्निश्चितं तद रूपम न व्यभिचरति तत् सत्यम. He says कि सत्यम इति, what is the meaning of सत्यम? कि यद् रूपेण यन्निश्चितं, that which is determined of having a particular nature, that object or that entity which is understood, which is confirmed to have a particular quality, then it never changes. That quality never changes. Once it is determined to be of a particular nature, that nature never changes. Such an entity is called Satyam. And on the contrary, what is asatyam? Yat rupena nishchitam yat tad rupam vyavicharat anrutam iti uchyate. Once we determine a particular entity or object of a particular quality, then that quality changes. So if it changes, then that is asatyam. That is called asatyam. See, these terms are such, they cannot be translated into English. The translation of Satyam as real is totally wrong. Similarly, the translation of asatyam as unreal is also wrong. One has to understand these terms as they are indicated in our Shastras. So what does it mean? See, Brahma is also indicated as the cause of this world. Brahma is also indicated as present in this world. So, this Lakshanas, whatever is given here, one has to seek this Brahma in this world itself, having these Lakshanas, having these characteristics. For example, we take a pot. This pot is there, it's just an example. It is made up of clay. So if you go into the past, this pot was not in this shape before. Before it was just a lump of clay. Then it appeared in this shape. And in future, it will not remain in this shape. It will break. It will change. So the shape which we call pot, it changes. Once we determine it as a pot, later on, or all the time, it will not remain as a pot. It will change its features. Therefore, this pot is called asatyam. Means it's a changing existence. It is existing. This pot is not false. This pot is not an illusion. This pot is existing. But the nature of the pot is such that it keeps on changing. But in this pot itself, the cause of this pot, which is the clay, that clay remains same. Before the pot was born, the clay was there. When the pot is born, still the clay is there as it is. And when the pot gets destroyed, clay will remain as it is. So the clay remains same. So clay is called Satyam and pot is called Asatyam. This same example is given in Chandogya Upanishad to convey the relationship of this world and Brahma. This world is like a pot, and Brahma is like the clay. So the world which we see, in this world itself, Brahma is present. Because the cause is always present in the effect. Cause is always present in the effect. Clay is present in this pot. If clay is removed, then pot will also not exist. The very fact that pot is existing, it means clay is present. Similarly, this world is existing because Brahma is present in this world. The world is not an illusion. World is not what you call non-existent. World is existing. But the nature of the world is such that it is constantly changing. And that we experience, it is not something which is not understood. We experience the world constantly changing, but it is constantly existing also. The world is constantly existing. It is not non-existent, but it is constantly changing. So it's called Asat, the world of that which we experience as idam, 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 as we experience through our senses. Also the senses which are experienced, also the mind which is experienced, the intellect which is experienced, the ego which is experienced, all these are part of the world and all of them are constantly changing. So they are all asat. Asatyam means changing existence. But in this changing existence, there is that which doesn't change. And that which doesn't change, that which remains same all the time, is Satyam. And that Satyam is indicated as Brahma. Now let us just analyze this world in this, with this help of this definition, with the help of this characteristic. So when we see this world, we experience the world in two forms. One is we see the form of this world, and we also experience it as existing. For example, this pot, which is part of this world, we experience this pot and we also experience it as existing. Therefore, we say pot is. It is experienced as ease. Then we shift our attention to a flower, and here we experience the flower, but along with the flower, we also experience its existence. We say flower is. So the existence, the experience of ease is common everywhere. It never changes. The experience of ease is there in all objects. Whatever we experience, we not only experience that object, but along with the experience of that object, we experience the existence of that object. So that which is experienced as is Satyam. But there is one problem here. What is the problem? That though we experience this world, which is constantly changing, and we are also experiencing that existence, but when we go to sleep, then we don't experience this world. When we go to sleep, what happens? Our senses get withdrawn into the mind. Our senses get withdrawn into the mind, but the mind continues to function. And we continue to experience the mind. And that is called dream. So in the dream also, the experience of the world is there, which is all bundled up in the mind. So we continue to, mind is also part of the world. So we continue to experience the world as our mind. And even when we are experiencing that dream, we experience everything as is. So existence is experienced there also. So that existence doesn't change, but the objects keep on changing. Then when we go to deep sleep, the mind also gets withdrawn. Mind also gets withdrawn. So there is no experience of the mind. There is no experience of the world. That is the deep sleep. But when I wake up, I know that I was existing in my deep sleep. I say I did not know anything, but I slept happily. So I know about my existence there. So existence was present even in deep sleep, without the objects, without the changing objects, the pure existence. That pure existence without the changing objects, that is called Satyam. And that Satyam is Brahma. That Satyam is Brahma. Therefore, one should understand that this world is not non-existent. This world is not mithya. I am repeating this because there is this misunderstanding in the field of Vedanta that this world is mithya. Lot of people keep on quoting and keep on talking about the world as mithya, as illusion. The world is not an illusion. Just like this pot is not an illusion. Pot is existing. But only thing is it is changing. So that changing existence is called asatyam. See, some people give the example of the rope and snake, and they say that this world is an illusion. So, for example, this is there in my hand. This is just a rope. It appears like a snake, tiny little snake. So if you see this and you mistake this for a snake, if you think it is a snake, then that idea of snake is in your mind. It is not here. Here what is existing is only rope. The idea of a snake is in your mind. So that snake which is there in your mind is not here. So that snake in the mind is your false understanding of this rope. So that false understanding of this rope is an illusion, is imaginary, is mithya. But this and the rope and the snake doesn't have any cause and effect relationship. Rope is not the cause of the snake. But in case of this world, there is a cause and effect relationship between this world and Brahma. Brahma is the cause, world is the effect. Just like the clay is the cause and the pot is the effect. So pot is present, is existing. Pot is not an imagination of my mind. Hence pot is not mithya. Similarly, this world is not mithya. So Satyam means that which remains same in all the three periods of time, at all times. So that which is understood as Satyam is Brahma. So with the help of this term Satyam, when we contemplate, when we meditate, we have to eliminate all the thoughts and all the ideas of asatyam. Then what remains is that Satyam Brahma. So the technique of understanding Brahma is through negating neti. So when the term Satyam is used to indicate Brahma, it is meant to negate all that is asatyam. And when all asatyam is negated, what remains is satyam. So when this term satyam is used to indicate Brahma, Brahma is understood as the cause of this world also. Because only the cause remains pervading the effect and remains free from change. Like gold and ornaments. Gold is the cause, ornaments are the effect. So in the ornaments, gold is present. Gold pervades the ornaments. Gold is present. Though the ornaments keep on changing, gold is always present. So if you want to understand gold, you have to shift your attention from the ornaments. Not through the ornaments, but in the ornaments itself, you shift your attention from the form, and what remains there is gold. Similarly, if you want to understand Brahma, we have to remove from our mind all the thoughts of the world which is changing. Means all the thoughts of asatyam when it is removed. And what remains is satyam. So when our intellect, when we contemplate with our Shuddha, pure and subtle intellect on Brahma, taking the support of this one Lakshana, Satyam, lot of thoughts will come, but if the thoughts are coming and going, then they are asatyam, they are changing. So that is not Brahma. But it is present in all the thoughts. Brahma is present in all the thoughts. Brahma is present in all the objects. So when we remove all the thoughts of asatyam, then only satyam will remain. So satyam is a beautiful indicator of Brahma. But when we think about this satyam, and when we understand this satyam as the cause of this world, because only the cause remains unchanged, and that is called the cause. Like clay is cause of this pot, so clay will always remain in all the stages of this pot. Before creation of the pot, clay was there. During creation, clay is there. When it is destroyed, clay will remain. Similarly, Satyam is that which remains in all the phases of this world. When the world goes into pralay, Satyam is there. Therefore, in Chandogya Upanishad, it said, Sadeva Soumya idamagrasi. Sat alone was there before this world came into manifestation. And even when the world is manifest, Satyam is there. In Gita, Bhagavan says, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagad avyakta murtina. I pervade this entire world, but I am unmanifest in the world. I am not seen directly in this world, but I am present in this world. Sutre manigana iva. Like a sutra thread is present in the garland. Similarly, I am present in this world. So the world is the effect and the Brahma as Satyam is the cause. But when we only take this one Lakshana of Satyam, then one problem can be there, that this world which we see is also jadam, inert. Therefore, the cause, that is Satyam, this Brahma, also must be inert only, jada. So in order to remove this misunderstanding and to pinpoint that Brahma more clearly, the Shruti uses another term, another indicator as Jnanam. Jnanam means it is not Jadam, it is not inert. Brahma is not inert, it is Jnanam. See, what is the meaning of inert and how Jnanam is opposite of inert? See, inert is that which is which is which is seen. Inert is that which is which doesn't have its own awareness. It is not conscious of itself. For example, this pot is inert. So if you keep this pot at one place, it will remain there permanently till it is acted upon by some external force and taken somewhere, or some pressure is put on this pot. Like in science also, they talk about the law of inertia. An object, if it is stationary, it will continue to remain stationary. Or if an object is moving, it will continue to move unless it is acted upon by an external force. So is the world, is Brahma inert? The Shruti says no, it is Jnanam. Therefore, this world which appears to be inert is also controlled by that Jnanam only. In the Upanishads also, when it talks about the creation, it says that Ishvara thought, or that Brahma thought, and then he created. So if he thought, that means he is conscious. He is not jada, not inert. See, in the field of science also they are trying to find out the source of this world. And they have the latest theory is that once upon a time this whole world was just packed in a single point, which they call a singularity. And then the Big Bang happened, and the whole world expanded from there, and everything came into manifestation. But what triggered that Big Bang, that science cannot tell. Because if everything is inert, then to have that Big Bang, there must be some external force to trigger it. So science has not come to any conclusion. But Vedanta says this, that cause of this world is not inert, is Jnanam. Therefore it is indicated that Brahma thought and he created this world. But what is this Jnanam? What does Jnanam means? See, one is that we know certain things. Like, for example, this flower is there, then this flower, I know. So there is a knowledge of this flower. So I am the knower, and this flower is there, which is known, and the knowledge of flower is there. So there is this knowledge. We say, I know the flower. So there is knowledge of flower. Then if the pot is there, I say there is knowledge of pot. But in all this knowledge, there are three things involved. One is the object that is known, then there is a knower, and there is knowledge. So that knowledge is also associated with the object and a knower. So is Brahma, if Brahma is indicated as knowledge, then Brahma also must be knower and Brahma also must be known. In the sense there will be divisions in Brahma. But the third indicator is that Brahma is Anantam. Anantam means infinite. Infinite means there are no divisions in Brahma. So how to understand this knowledge then? So when it is said Brahma is knowledge, it means knowledge by itself, without the knower and without the known. Knowledge per se, knowledge by itself. Brahma is knowledge by itself. That knowledge by itself alone expresses as this world and as all the beings. So in the beings, in a jiva, the knowledge expresses as knower, knowledge and known. The divisions are there. But in Brahma, these divisions are not there. Brahma is knowledge by itself, knowledge per se. And this is not something strange, this is not something which we cannot understand. If we take our experience of deep sleep, see, when we are awake, I experience the world, I experience myself as the knower of the world, and I experience that knowledge. But in deep sleep, what happens? The world disappears, means the world gets absorbed in the mind, and the mind gets absorbed in me. All the knowledge also gets absorbed in me. I alone remain there. So that I who is present there in deep sleep is just knowledge by itself. There is no knower, there is no known, it is pure knowledge. That pure knowledge itself is the Lakshana of Brahma. It is called Nyapti. Shankaracharya ji calls it Nyapti Matra, knowledge by itself. Because of this knowledge, When we wake up from our deep sleep, we say, I slept happily, I did not know anything. But how do you know? How do you know that you did not know anything? How do you know that you slept happily? Because you existed there as pure knowledge. So the indicator Jnanam help us to further pinpoint that Brahma, to comprehend that Brahma. But as I said, knowledge generally is associated with someone who is knowing, a knower, and that object which is known, and the knowledge. Therefore, to convey that there is no division in this knowledge, that third term is used as Anantam, infinite. So Brahma is Satyam, Jnanam, and Anantam. And as Jnanam, we also understand that Brahma is one. Because if you say two, then that one Jnanam will become Neya, will become something known. So that will not make sense. So there is only one Brahma, which is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Anantam means infinite. Infinite means not limited by anything. Not limited by anything means what? There are three limitations which we see in this world. There are things which are limited by time. Like this pot, it exists in time. Before it was not there, in future it will not be there. So it is just existing in a limited time. So it is limited by time. Then there are things which are limited by objects. Like this pot is not the flower. In the flower, we don't see the pot. In the pot, we don't see the flower. So the flower, the pot is limited by other objects like flowers and all. It is not everything. It's only one thing. So it is called limitation by object. And there is limitation by space. This pot is not everywhere. It is only here. It is not there. So it's limited by space. But Brahma is infinite. It is not limited by time, space, time, object, and space. It is not limited by time because it is the cause. It is not the effect. The effects are born in time, are sustained in time, and dissolve in time. Brahma is the cause. It is always present. It is not limited by time. What about limitation by objects? Brahma is not limited by objects also. Again, since it is the cause is present in all the objects. So Brahma is present not only in this pot, but Brahma is present in this flower also. And Brahma is present in all the objects. So Brahma is not limited by objects. And what about space? Since it is again the cause of everything, including space, Brahma is not limited by space, it is everywhere. But Brahma, which is present in me, seems to be limited because I am the knower. Then there is object which is known, and there is knowledge. So in a jiva, Brahma appears to be limited. But even in jiva, Brahma is not limited because the object which is known, Brahma is present there. In the knowledge, Brahma is present because Brahma is of the nature of knowledge. And the knower is also Brahma. So Brahma is not limited in jiva. Brahma is not limited by space, time, and objects. Therefore, Brahma is infinite. So Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma, which one has to comprehend with the help of the intellect by negating all that is asatyam, by negating all that is jadam, and by negating all that is parichinnam, limited. So when the intellect is constantly used to negate all this, when a thought comes, and if it is asatyam, it is jadam, it is parichinnam, says no, this is not Brahma. So when this gets negated, the buddhi becomes nishprachar, free from thoughts. It is awake, it is alert, but all the thoughts are eliminated. And in that buddhi, the knowledge of Brahma happens. When all the thoughts are negated as not Brahma, then the knowledge in that nishprachara buddhi, knowledge of Brahma happens. But that knowledge of Brahma happens also as an objective knowledge. Buddhi comes to understand, yeah, this is Brahma. Our buddhi comes to understand this is Brahma. But then this Brahma is also indicated as our own self. Brahma is also indicated as our own self. So the lakshanas of Brahma is seen in our self also. Brahma is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. Our self also is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. How? Which self? That self which is free from all the conditionings, the pure self. Pure self remains pure in the sense free from all conditionings in deep sleep. So if you just think about the deep sleep, whenever one goes into deep sleep, it is the same deep sleep, it is the same experience of self. Whether we have gone to sleep in our childhood or we go to sleep now, the experience of sleep is same because the self is same. It never changes. So that never changing self is Satyam. When I am in deep sleep, not that I remain ignorant, but when I wake up, I say, oh, I slept happily. I did not know anything. That means knowledge was there. So I remain there as knowledge. Jnanam. and there was no limitations of any kind. Objects were not there to limit me, time was not there to limit me, space was not there to limit me. Any other divisions of this knower, knowing, and known was not there to limit me. So I remained there as Anantam. So this Brahma, which is indicated as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, is my own self. So with the help of these three Lakshanas, first we should comprehend this Brahma with the help of our Buddhi. And that comprehension happens that comprehension happens, still we understand that Brahma as something different from me. I understand it as a concept, as an idea. But then one has to meditate and assert that Brahma as our own self. That is called Nididhyasana. So through Nididhyasana, we have to assert that Brahma, which we have understood as Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, is my own self, free from all upadhis. So Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Further, the teacher will tell that what happens to the one who gains this knowledge, gains this experience. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam, one who recognizes that Brahma in his own guha, in the space of his own heart, in his own antakarana. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Brahmana Vipaschiteti. Soshnute Sarvan Kaman Saha Brahmana Vipaschiteti. So, being Brahma, he experiences the fulfillment of all desires at the same time. Means he experiences infinite bliss. So that we will see in our class on Monday. So till then, you take care. Be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy. Do your work, do your sadhana, and listen to this pravachan again, because it was subtle. Some points were there. So contemplate, listen, and share and subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends, relatives, and we shall meet again on Monday. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 जय जय राम, जय जय राम। बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।